bullying, then I'll just go home and put a bullet in his head. That way he doesn't have to suffer. You ought to see what he went through. It was horror.
Listen.
And now you want to kill my dog? And this, who's going to be accountable to that? He can't have it. I'll James Robert Adams.
All right, so you're charged with a violation of probation. They think you failed to provide proof of your animal license by May the 4th of 25. That is the charge. If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty, your 771 status could be revoked, conviction entered, you'd be subject to a 90-day jail term. Do you understand?
Let's pause right here because this is where things start to heat up. Judge Boyd clearly lays out the charge: failure to provide proof of an animal license. Sounds simple, right? But this isn't just a ticket or fine. The consequences could be up to 90 days in jail. That's serious, not the defendant's tone? Already confrontational. And we haven't even heard the full story yet. But notice how the judge calmly outlines every right, including the right to a public defender. That's due process 101. Still, the defendant deflects, brings up a woman named Emily, and says he thought they'd talk about it in court. Big mistake. Here's a question for you. Should someone's personal belief override public safety laws? Let us know in the comments.
Here, I've got the doctors here. I tried to have him.
Listen.
Twice.
Listen.
And then I know, but she said that you would take a look at all the evidence.
I'm not about to overrule their ordinances.
It's 106 years
Listen,
old.
hang on. I don't give a... I could care less.
The State Department wrote a letter.
This is the moment Judge Boyd draws the line. The defendant tries to bring in everyone from the State Department to doctors to justify why his dog isn't vaccinated. But Boyd shuts that down instantly. It's not playing politics or conspiracy games. He's enforcing the law. What we're seeing here is a classic courtroom collision. Emotion versus ordinance. The man genuinely believes his dog will die from the vaccine, but belief isn't legal proof. The key quote here: "Don't care if it's the Department of Justice." That tells you everything you need to know about Boyd's mindset. He's not bending.
I'm not going to kill your dog.
If he gets that vaccine, he will die. He almost died before.
So,
should I just put a bullet and go home and put a bullet in his head?
hang on a second.
I can do that. Just get it over with. If that's the ruling, then I'll just go home and put a bullet in his head. That way he doesn't have to suffer. You ought to see what he went through. It was horror.
Listen.
And now you want to kill my dog? And who's going to be accountable to that? He can't have it.
This is one of the most emotionally explosive parts of the case. The man doesn't just disagree, he threatens to go home and put a bullet in his dog's head. That is extreme, and it clearly rattles the courtroom. But ask yourself this: is this a desperate plea from a man who loves his dog? Or emotional manipulation to guilt the court into changing the law? Judge Boyd stays calm, but this moment is deeply disturbing because it's not about a dog license anymore. It's about life, death, and who gets to decide.
I'm not arrogant enough to ignore laws and rules. The rule is that in order for your dog to be licensed in Brownstown, they have to have shots. Hang on, let me finish. I'm not a member of the legislature. If I wanted to run for the legislature, I would have done that.
This is where Judge Boyd makes it crystal clear. I don't write the laws, I enforce them. This isn't a man on a power trip. It's a judge upholding the structure of government. The defendant insists he's not negligent, claiming the shot will kill the dog, but Judge Boyd returns to the facts. One of the two dogs is licensed. That's a problem, especially in a township that requires insurance and proof of rabies vaccination.
For it, he cannot have the shot. I was not negligent. I have been trying and trying and trying. I don't know what else to do other than kill him.
Nobody wants your dog to
Well, if
die.
you vaccinate him, he's pretty much dead. You ought to see what he went through before.
Listen,
I thought I was gonna have to put him down before.
I don't think.
He made it.
Listen,
The doctors are recommending for me not to do it.
call in the prosecutor. It is a criminal violation for a dog not to be licensed, period. Listen. It is a criminal violation for a dog not to be licensed. In order for a dog to be licensed, the dog has to have its shots. It has to, hang on, let me finish, please. It has to be vaccinated. Now, what you're saying to me is, be a god, be a king, and just say the hell with their ordinance. They don't, you can overrule their ordinance and say, it's, whether you want me to say it's unconstitutional or I'm not going to enforce it. That's not what judges do.
Here, we hit the legal wall. The judge reminds everyone, unless exemptions are written into the law, he cannot create them. That would be judicial overreach. The man mentions he has documentation from a vet, but Judge Boyd points out a crucial rule. Judges don't consider evidence not shared with the opposing side. That's fair process. Legal takeaway here. Even with a vet's letter, if it wasn't shared with the prosecutor, it's meaningless in court. That's how the justice system keeps balance.
I don't, just so you know, Mr. Adams, I don't read things that are sent to me unless they're sent to the other side. I don't know if this was sent to the prosecutor or not.
Emily said she was.
She's not, well, Emily talked to me about this, and I was not real enthused about the fact that this had been going on without me having knowledge of it for several months. When I told you to have the dog licensed, what I know I gave you a date here. Must register within 30 days, and that means by May the 4th, and this wasn't brought to my attention until early July, so I don't want to air dirty laundry, but I was not enthused that order had been not complied with, and nobody told me about it until 2.5 weeks ago, at which time I told them immediately set it for hearing. Ms. Foley Carter, your name?
Caitlin Foley Carter, Brunswick Township.
Have you seen any of this documentation?
Emily did send it to me, and Mr. Adams has been talking to Justin Donosky, the Director of Public Works, who is in the courtroom. Mr. Donosky has been in contact with the state. The state reiterated our...
Boom! The state weighs in and confirms it. No exemptions. According to public health law, all dogs must be vaccinated to be licensed. No exceptions. It's not even medical. This is a major moment, no matter what the vet says or what Kansas state reports. The law in this courtroom is set. The judge even points out how many dog cases he's had with his family, which adds context to why his patience is paper thin. So here's a question. Should the law evolve to allow more medical exemptions for pets? Or is that too risky for public health?
You know, this is like, take the dog large cases I've had, and I don't care what the township's done with them. They pled some to civil infractions. They dismissed others. I've had more dog cases with you and your wife in here than any 4,000 people times 10. And I'm supposed to let this dog run around and bite somebody? You know, people fight, dogs bite.
He's good. He's passed the test. The titer doesn't, he has the antibodies. That's what my attorney was telling you. Bobby was in here saying, hey, he's gonna get a titers test. That was the whole, he was standing right here. We all talked about the titers test. He said he's getting the titers test to make sure he has the antibodies. He can't get rabies. He has the antibodies in him. And as far as Kansas State, where this was done,
Hang on a
they
second.
issue the license.
Hang on. All I know is that the stipulated plea agreement.
You can't amend this and try to fix it for a remedy, because there needs to be.
Fix it for a remedy. What? Ignore the Brownstown
No, it's
laws?
106 years old. They didn't have this technology 106 years ago. That
then
ordinance.
you can, I can't just declare this unconstitutional.
It's not, just have a remedy. If you pass the test, why can't you be good? I'm not the only one that has this issue.
I've never heard it from anybody else. I've been here for
Most people don't
31
even get a
years.
dog's license. That's what they tell me. You know, they want to do it because they don't want the vaccines.
You guys signed.
This part's fascinating. The defendant tries to argue that the law is outdated, saying it dates back to 1919. But Judge Boyd isn't impressed. He explains that even if the statute is old, the township ordinance is what's being enforced. Today, the court doesn't care how old the law is. What matters is whether it's currently in effect and legally binding. It's a classic case of someone trying to reinterpret the law and failing. Okay, judges don't change laws based on opinions. They apply what's written.
The township hasn't even been in existence for 106 years.
She quoted on here that the law was from 1919.
It could be by statute, but it's not the ordinance.
So
They haven't been in existence that long.
for the state.
How long's the township been in
1919 she
existence?
quoted.
Not that long. I believe he's talking about the dog law of
The dog law,
1919.
yeah, 1919,
That's a
requires
statute.
licensing to enforce.
Sir,
I want to do the right thing. I've been trying.
I'm going to let you appeal this.
I can't.
I'm
kill the
going to
dog.
let you appeal this. You can appeal this. You can take this up to the circuit court and then to the Court of Appeals, and if need be, to the Supreme Court.
Somebody needs to do it. It's not.
Do it. I am not about to carve out an exception for you or anybody else or myself.
Judge Boyd offers one last lifeline. Bring in your vet and your lawyer. But his tone is firm. He's not hopeful it'll change the outcome. This isn't just about one case. Boyd says what many judges feel. I took an oath, and I'm not breaking it. It's powerful. Even when he disagrees with the law personally, he won't override it. That's integrity. And it's why he's one of the most respected judges on YouTube and off it.
I'm trying to do it. I really am. And this is not.
Have you seen this report that he has?
The titer test around Kansas State University I did. It's not a replacement for the rabies vaccination, however.
They say it is.
The state or the township doesn't.
I mean, the Kansas does. They're the ones that do all the.
She's saying,
international
did you hear
testing.
what she just said? The
Yes.
state isn't saying it is, the township isn't saying it is.
So,
Nobody wants your dog to die, Mr.
Look, it will if
Adams.
I give him the test. He's got a really good chance of dying.
Bring in the vet. I want to talk to this vet. You bring in your vet and you bring in your lawyer, okay? I'm going to have some questions for him. She's going to have some questions for him. I cannot just allow a dog to run around that could create rabies, especially with the history that you and your wife have with letting dogs run around. I mean, if you want to buy every house in the township in your subdivision and get them to rezone it and let you build a park with a fence about it, you can run your dogs all over the place. But this is ridiculous. I'm not negotiating.
I want to just get rid of him.
You do what you want to do, but I cannot. I don't think you're understanding me. I cannot and will not ignore laws. Good judges don't do that. I don't write my own laws up here. I never have, and I'm not starting today. I can't just say, forget the township. It's okay for me to allow you to illegally own this dog and not have it licensed in accordance with their ordinances or the state statutes. I can't do that. No decent judge in the country will do that.
You know I haven't tried. Well, that wasn't my intentions.
Well, I'm telling you what it is. I'm just telling you.
But you understand that that was not my intention.
You can feel the emotional wear in this part. The defendant keeps asking for an exception, and Judge Boyd repeats again and again, I don't have that power. It's a sad and frustrating moment. The man wants compassion. The court demands compliance. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who holds authority. And in this courtroom, law wins over empathy.
Who knows me knows I would never say, yeah, it's okay if you illegally own this dog. Did you hear what I said? No, I don't have that kind of power. I'm not a king. We have 3 branches of government. All of a sudden in this country, we got all kinds of people that think they have all kinds of power beyond what they have, and I'm not one of them. I have the power to adjudicate, interpret, and make decisions in accordance with the law. I took an oath with that, and I'm not breaking it. Tell me when you can get your vet here. If you want to go make a call and find out when your vet's available, I'll ask them to come in a separate day so I can accommodate them. And you can get whoever lawyers you want and bring them in, and we'll all have a nice little conversation. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, my saying you don't have to comply with an ordinance, I can't imagine what I'm going to have to hear. So if that's what you think it is, you might want to save yourself some time and money and just make up your mind. I'm going to appeal the judge's decision. I don't agree with him. It's okay. You're not going to be the first one, by the way, Mr. Adams, that's disagreed with me. I've been doing this for 31 years, and I have people disagree with me frequently. It's okay. We can all have the right to disagree. I just know when I go home every night, I can look in the mirror.
Can I ask you a question?
Hey, did you hear what I just said? I can go look in the
Judge Boyd's most powerful moment, right here. I go home every night and I can look in the mirror. It's rare to see a judge open up like this, but this quote is everything. After 31 years, he's not chasing popularity. He's chasing fairness. He's saying, I don't bend for pressure. I do what's right, even if it's hard. What would you do if you were the judge in this case? Let us know.
What to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You can run for the township board, get them to change the ordinance. You can do that down the road. Or you can run for the legislature, get them to change the state statute. The judges don't legislate from the bench. Good judges don't make up their own rules. There's a lot of things I've disagreed with in my career here that I've seen on the books and ordinances and statutes. Nobody would know it. I mean, sometimes I get a little lippy because I wear my emotions on my sleeve, but I try not to say what I disagree with when I disagree with the law because it's not my function. But either way, whether I agree with it or disagree with it, I follow it, period. So I have no problem. Go call your vet, call your lawyer, but you're asking me again, I just can't make you understand this enough. I cannot say that it's okay for you to violate laws because I don't like the law. It's not okay.
You can't make exceptions for...
How can I make exceptions?
This closing conversation is emotional. The defendant insists not every case is the same, and he's right. But the judge reminds us all, the law isn't always flexible. And here's the truth bomb. We have 3 branches of government, and I'm not a king. That's courtroom gold. Too often, people think judges can wave a wand and make things go away. But in reality, they're bound just like everyone else.
And you also understand if this is deemed to be just a technical violation, you could only get 5, right?
Yes.
So you know all your rights, right?
Yes.
I'm entering a not guilty plea. When's the vet available?
Well, we're shooting for, based on your guys' calendars, Bobby won't be able to be here till the 2nd afternoon, so the day of the 2nd in the afternoon.
Hang on.
Or the 3rd. Anytime during the 3rd, August 3rd.
Well, they gotta make sure I'm here.
That's a weekend.
The 2nd is a Saturday. The Sunday's
The August 2nd?
yeah, it's a Saturday.
I'm gonna go grab it there here.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd's a Sunday.
It was that, just on this calendar. It's that Wednesday in August. Can I call him?
But you're bringing your vet though, right? That's what I want to hear from.
Yes.
August what?
So what is the 3rd?
That's a Monday.
August 4th is a Monday. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
knock it in the afternoon.
What about the, what is good for that week? Because he gets back that week.
I'll do the 4th.
Okay.
Can we do it in the morning?
I don't care. Lisa, so I'm gonna set it for August 4th at what time? You think I can do? Can we do it at 8? You wanna do it at 8:30?
You have landlord tenant that morning.
I know. We'll do it at 8:30. August 4th at 8:30. And
So what happens next? The hearing is rescheduled. The defendant will return with his vet and lawyer. And Judge Boyd will weigh the expert testimony. But the bigger takeaway is this. The law is clear, and even the most passionate pleas can't override it. Judge Boyd stood firm, reminding us that good judges don't rewrite rules, they enforce them with fairness. Even when it hurts. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more geo-dropping courtroom breakdowns. We cover real rulings, real emotions, and real justice every single week.